So guys, as you know, earlier this year, me and my wife bought a property in Casa De Campo in the Dominican Republic. And it was a wild, wild ride. Right from the top, it's nothing like the US. In the US, it's pretty standard, right? General template is you get pre-approved, you look for a property, you find the property, you make an offer on the property, the buyer accepts, you go into the next stage of closing the property, then the property is yours. That's the gist of it. I'm not a mortgage guy, not a realtor, but that's the gist of it. And the Dominican Republic, it is like turned all up on its head. It is crazy and extremely stressful. Like, it was a very, very stressful process. But here was the process. Step one, you have to find your banking options. There are larger international banks, but there's also smaller banks and associations in the Dominican Republic. Find the option that works out best for you. Now, just so you know, the bigger banks have better financing options and potentially better interest rates. So for instance, on average, the interest rates that you're gonna get in the Dominican Republic is anywhere from potentially 8.25% all the way up to 12, 13, 14, 15%. Yeah, that's pretty high. So find the banking partner that you're going to want to work with, that's gonna give you the best options that you feel most comfortable working with. Now, once you have that banking option, step two is finding the property. There are multiple areas in the Dominican Republic, multiple purchase options, and a lot of different ways for you to find properties. You know, separate condo areas or resort areas have their own little kind of MLS or real estate group that you can search properties on. Other parts is internet search or contacting local realtors in that area. All right. Once you find a property, you yourself have to pay for the appraisal, which is step number three. So on step number three, you have to go back to your bank, say, hey, I found the property, I want to get it appraised. Who do you guys use as the appraiser to get the value of this property? The bank will give you the preferred person. You pay that person to go handle the appraisal. Now, do not pay them 100% up front, because in DR, they take their time. You gotta kind of, keep them on a leash and give them half down, have them do the appraisal. They're gonna take about a week or so. They're gonna take their time. Once they're done, you finalize the final payment, send it to them, and you'll have your appraisal. They will directly send it to the bank. You also receive a copy. Once the bank has this, step four, the bank is now going to evaluate all your documents. You're gonna submit credit application, your license, your 6 months working history, 6 months bank statements. You guys send them income tax for the past 2 years, potentially 3 years, depending on what part of the year you're sending over the information. So once they have all that information, they're gonna process it. They're gonna take their time. Here is the most important part in this stage. Be patient. I'm telling you right now, all these gray hairs on my chin, I think I got them from that process, because it was the most stressful, time-consuming part of the process, and they take their time. They completely operate at a different speed. So be patient, woosah, and just know that they're gonna do their job, but it's gonna take you some time. Okay? So once you have this set, they're gonna evaluate, your potential loan amounts. Some things they're gonna factor in at this stage. Are you a Dominican citizen? Do you have a Dominican cedula? If you don't, process is gonna take a little bit longer, and the potential of you getting the higher percentage of your financing option or your financing rate of the property is not gonna be as good as you want it to be. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm gonna get potentially 80 to 85%, not happening. You're gonna be around 70, 65, 60%, even lower, depending on what they qualify you for. Remember, their underwriting system does not revolve around US credit, US income. They see you as a foreign investor, higher risk, and they're gonna sit here and be very careful with that part of the process. So keep that in mind. So once all this happens, they review your documents, they're gonna email you back or call you back, say, hey, we can finance you for X amount. If you have the other percentage, let's say they finance you for 75% of your property, you have the other 25% ready, make sure that's in your bank account, and you can start the actual closing process. Now, my recommendation in step 5 is getting a lawyer in the Dominican Republic, someone that's accredited, someone that you can really trust and do your due diligence on, that knows how to handle specifically real estate in the Dominican Republic. That's very important because you need someone on that side that can review your documents. Now, if you're not Spanish speaking, if you don't have a Spanish background or family that can assist you in this process, you might need to get a lawyer and someone that can translate documents on this end to make sure you can review all of these documents, because they're all going to be in Spanish. Okay, so you have to pay a lawyer in the Dominican Republic to manage the process or manage the transaction that's required. In the United States, if you feel comfortable that you can handle it, great. If not, hire someone here. So remember what I said, you pay for your appraisal, you just paid for your lawyer in the yard that's required, that's gets part of closing costs. You pay for a lawyer here before you even started closing the property. None of these costs are included. You have to pay this stuff out of pocket. Now, once that process happens, ideally, you're gonna have to fly over there to handle those paperwork in person. Handling it, via email or eDocs or DocuSign, I'm not a fan of. Be there in person. Make sure you can review all the documents. These bigger banks have someone that does speak English most of the time, and they can help you review the documents and get these things taken care of properly. The banks have their own legal department, so this is all part of step 5. Document review, make sure everything is legally reviewed, and then you go into reviewing final documents and funding. Now, once you get part of this closing process, lawyer review, everyone reviews the contracts, you guys review all the documentation, everyone signs off. Now you're at the table. You're about to sign your life away on your investment property. Step 6, now you just gotta bring your money to the table. Once you bring your money to the table, they go ahead and send you the information, you sign, everything's all fine and dandy. And then after that, it's gonna take about anywhere from 1 to maybe even 3 months. That's how long it even took us to get the title over to the bank, so the bank can actually transfer any final documents over to your name. So throughout this process, you have to be very, very diligent. You gotta sit here and call these people every single week. You gotta follow up. You gotta ask them what's going on. Make sure they, they receive everything. Confirm. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, it's gonna be stressful. It's gonna suck the life out of you. But once you get it done, you got a spot in paradise. So some final key takeaways here, guys. Number 1, patience. Be extremely patient. Everyone takes their time. They don't operate like the US. Nobody has that fire, that gusto to get things done. They get paid by the hour. They're taking their time. All right, so number 1 is patience. Number 2, have all your documents ready. Get them over to them and consistently follow up on the receipt of those documents. That is super important. They're gonna act like they didn't receive it. They're gonna ask you to send things 3-4 times, and you're gonna think these people are absolutely just bonkers and like absent-minded. It's not that. They just take their time. Okay? And number 3, do your research. Look at the properties. Look at various financing options by looking at different banks. Try to get the lowest rate possible, and know the areas you're getting into. That's super important. If you don't live there, you don't have family there, a lot of research. This might require even a couple of trips, going back and forth, knowing the area, drive around, know the safety of the area, know the environment, know the people, know security. We were fortunate that we bought inside of Casa De Campo, and there they had their own legal departments, top-notch security, a really safe environment that made us comfortable buying there because it's an elite location or an elite destination and luxury destination in the Dominican Republic. So guys, buying a property in the Dominican Republic is going to take you 3, 4, maybe 5 months, and it's so stressful. Just know that if you really want it, it's going to be worth it. If not, invest somewhere else, man, because this process is going to push you to the limits. But unless you got cash and you got $1 million in the bank, trust me, they'll move real fast if you got cash in the bank. All right, guys, so that's my tips in terms of buying a property in the Dominican Republic. I'm not a mortgage officer. I'm not a realtor. I'm just a real person that me and my wife invested in the Dominican Republic. We bought a property. We went through it. I'm just sharing with you my learnings. There might be some things that might have been lost here just because, you don't remember every single step of the way, but generally this is the process. And once again, be patient and good luck. And if you don't want to buy, click on the link below, check out our website, rent our unit or any other unit that we have access to in Casa De Campo, and just have a grand old vacation. Trust me, we'll take care of you.